As you're planning a trip to an offshore vendor, you can save yourself a lot of time by applying this simple rule. Tell the vendors that you don't want to do anything while you are there that you could have done while you were in the USA or UK. This means you don't want to be taken through PowerPoints there that could have been shown to you here. If you don't do this, you may be exposed to what we call death by PowerPoint. You'll be taken through hours of sophisticated, well thought out PowerPoints and will be bored by day 2. But if you follow this simple rule, the whole dynamics of the trip will change. There will be some PowerPoints for sure, but the trip will become more about understanding the capabilities of the specific people you meet, e.g. your team leaders, and about developing meaningful relationships with senior offshore executives than about being amazed at the capabilities of the offshore team, some of which you will never need. So the trip becomes much more applicable to your needs and more valuable. If you're going to India, another big point to consider is what category of vendors you should visit. I always select both Tier 1 and Tier 2 vendors in the final mix of companies to visit. A Tier 1 vendor may have 70,000 staff and a very broad portfolio of capabilities, whereas a Tier 2 vendor may only have 9,000 staff and fewer people in each capability. But with a Tier 2 vendor, your company will be a big fish in a small pool, and with a Tier 1 vendor, you may be a small fish in a big pool. The treatment and focus you receive from a Tier 2 vendor may far exceed what you will receive from a Tier 1 vendor, and a Tier 2 vendor will be very willing to expand their capabilities in your technology just for the purpose of serving you. I saw a great example of this firsthand on a trip to Chennai, India. I went with a client who wanted to have support of less than 100 offshore engineers in an old technology. The Tier 2 vendor was willing to take people out of university and retrain them in the old technology. As I've come to expect with offshore vendors, they treated us like kings and really rolled out the red carpet. The senior executives, who I'd already met onshore, gave up time with their families over India's national holidays so they could show us around the tourist sites near Chennai. They did everything possible to take good care of us. By comparison, the Tier 1 vendor, whose name you would recognize, did not greet us with a red carpet. The senior executives were only present over video link, and we were subjected to a 45-minute bag search both entering and leaving the premises, where they insisted on recording the serial numbers of all our equipment. They seemed to think that as senior executives we might steal something. I felt insulted, and I did not hesitate to publicly tell them so. As you might expect, the Tier 2 vendor got the business, and leveraging the relationships with the senior executives, this has been running successfully ever since. My name is Greg Knight. I help businesses succeed through IT. If you'd like a chat about the issues your company is facing, please feel free to reach out over LinkedIn or email. Also, I've recently released a new book on Amazon, Bringing Order Out of Chaos in IT, which some CIOs have described as a blueprint for IT executive roles. Thank you for watching this video.